Hello and welcome to our new video. This is the Magic Clip Cordless Hair Clipper from Wahl. We have tested it for you and you'll find out everything you need to know in this video. So stay tuned. Before we get to the practical part, we'll first dive into our features and technology section. Let's take a look at the battery first. The hair clipper is pretty average in that regard. It offers a runtime of 90 minutes and a charging time of 120 minutes. One advantage, however, is that the appliance can also be used while it's plugged in. So if in doubt, you can leave it connected to the power supply. The cutting range of the Magic Clip goes up to a maximum of 25 millimeters, which is also pretty average in comparison to other hair clippers. The cutting length for the short settings can be adjusted steplessly via a lever. This naturally gives you the best possible scaling. It's just a shame that you can only use these lines as a guide when setting the length. A few numbers would definitely have been helpful here. If you then start using the comb attachments, the setting intervals are unfortunately quite coarse, and you are somewhat limited in your choice of cutting length. Special features include a charging indicator, the hook at the bottom of the device, and a small but nice scope of delivery. But we'll tell you a bit more about that later. By the way, if you like the product, then take a look at the description below. You will find all the links there. We took a closer look at the hair clipper during our practical test. The first thing we noticed was the elegant look and the special design. The appliance has a high-quality finish and doesn't really fit into the image of a standard hair clipper on the market. Its rustic on and off switch and length adjustment lever are quite special in that regard. It is certainly an eye-catcher, at least in our opinion. The high-quality workmanship is also reflected in the weight. At 289 grams, this is the heaviest device in our test. However, the surface feels good to the touch and the shape promises a good grip. The only drawback in our opinion is the transition between the plastic parts. The workmanship could have been a little more precise here. All in all, however, the first impression is positive and meets the expectations of a professional device in the higher price range. However, there are some inconveniences, which would be the rather strong vibration in the handpiece and the volume, which at around 68 decibels is slightly unpleasant, but still okay in the end. When it comes to cutting hair, all parts can be operated smoothly. The switch clicks into place very firmly, and the lever for the length adjustment also feels secure. The comb attachments also snap into place very securely via a clip on the bottom. At first you get the feeling that it might be a bit awkward to attach it, but in the end we were pleasantly surprised at how securely the clip system clicks into place. In terms of functionality, we have no complaints so far. Next, let's take a look at how the Magic Clip performed during use. There are two main areas to examine here, namely working with the blade close to the skin and trimming longer hairs with the comb attachments. As Remo prefers to walk around bald, we start with trimming. At this point, I would like to talk about my experiences when I trimmed my hair with the Wahl Magic Clip Cordless. The very first thing I noticed is that we have an extremely solid blade here, and that it has a very large contact surface. And that's a good thing, because despite the fact that we have a relatively sharp edge at the front, we have a lot of safety while cutting our hair. By placing it on the scalp, we can achieve a fairly flat angle, and therefore don't cut into our skin or scratch our scalp. We also have a very good cutting result. We'd say that we're on par with the Panasonic Professional appliances, which means that you can cut your hair precisely with just a few simple strokes. Another advantage of the solid metal blade is clearly the heat development. I think it's pretty good that we're starting with a cold blade here. I just find that pleasant. It feels nice to me. Secondly, it takes a relatively long time to get the heat to radiate throughout the thing, so it's a very pleasant feeling from start to finish. That's it for trimming for now. Now let's take a look at cutting longer hair with the comb attachments. As Remo's hair unfortunately didn't grow back quickly enough, we looked around for a styling head. This dude arrived a few days later and we named it Eddie. Eddie is equipped with 100% natural hair and is therefore especially suitable for our test. Our would-be hairdresser Chris gave it a go and checked this out. The machine had no problems taming the mane. However, even that is an understatement. No other appliance in our test got through the hair that easy. This is certainly due to the powerful motor in the blade, but we believe that the comb attachments also play a major role. These made a very high-quality impression on us as soon as we unpacked them, and are also slightly differently shaped compared to the other appliances in our test. This is probably the reason why the hair is captured easily and quickly. In any case, the performance in our test was impressive, and Eddie was also pleased that hardly any corrective strokes were necessary. And as a reminder, you can find the link to the Wahl hair clipper in the description below the video. And if the video was helpful to you, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Eddie is happy. His hair is off. So, now what? Yeah, right. Clean it all up. Of course, the hair clippers also need to be cleaned. This works quite well with the Magic Clip, but you have to make do without water. The key is to blow it free and then use a brush, maybe with a damp cloth, but that's it. Let's move on to the blade, and as is often the case with blades, they will eventually become blunt. This will also be the case with the Magic Clip at some point. When exactly is a bit difficult to say. Judging by the workmanship, however, you should have peace of mind for a while. Compared to the devices from Haddocker and Remington, the Wahl Magic Clip comes with a much smaller scope of delivery, but it doesn't lack any essential items. The most important parts are definitely the 8 comb attachments and the charger. The cleaning brush and oil will also prove useful. Nice extras are the included comb and the protective cap for the blade, which also should be used with such a high-quality appliance. What we would still like to see with a hair clipper in this price range is a bag or case to protect the appliance, and a charging station would also have been nice. Let's come to the conclusion. The Wahl Magic Clip Cordless is a hair clipper in the higher price range and lives up to this classification. There is still room for improvement in terms of handling, vibration, and maximum cutting length, but in terms of its core performance, in other words, trimming and cutting, the Magic Clip even outperforms the professional devices from Panasonic. So if you want to leave the hairdresser behind for good and are prepared to spend a little more money, this appliance is definitely worth it. So, I've checked out this hair clipper for you. If you're interested in the product, then take a look at the video description below. You will find all the links there. Otherwise, just stay tuned. Our Endcard will provide a few interesting video suggestions for you.